Hello dear students, welcome to my channel. I hope that very soon we will attend our class face to face in our college, and till then we have to study like this. I mean to say online study. Today's lecture is on plasma membrane, and contents of plasma membrane are discovery, definition, compositions, different models, fluid mosaic model, and functions of plasma membrane. Plasma membrane was first time discovered by Eastman in the year 1838, and the same was called cell membrane by Nageli and Kramer in the year 1855, and the name plasma membrane was given by Plough in the year 1931. Plasma membrane can be defined as outermost selectively permeable covering surrounding the protoplast that separates and protects the cell from the external environment and provides a connecting system between the cell and its environment. It's called plasma membrane. Now, composition of plasma membrane. Plasma membrane consists of lipids, protein, carbohydrate, enzymes and water. Lipids contain, first lipid. The three main type of lipids are found in plasma membrane, and phospholipids, glycolipids and cholesterol. Phospholipids is a type of lipid whose molecule has a hydrophilic head containing a phosphate group and two hydrophobic tails derived from fatty acids joined by a glycerol residue. Phospholipids, which are built up of glycerol, are called phosphoglyceraldehyde. Second, glycolipids. Glycolipids are actually sugar-containing lipids. Third, cholesterol. Cholesterol is found in mostly animal cells. Animal cell membrane actually. It is absent in higher plants membrane and in bacteria. Second, protein. Protein, two different type of proteins are common: extrinsic or peripheral proteins and intrinsic or integral protein. Extrinsic proteins are attached to the periphery of lipids bilayer, and intrinsic proteins are partly or wholly embedded in the lipid bilayer. Plasma membrane possesses several enzymes which regulate the cellular metabolism. Besides lipids and protein, plasma membrane possesses carbohydrate which is around 5% in the form of hexose mostly, and the carbohydrate molecules usually occur outside the lipid bilayer, and when it is attached to protein it is called glycoprotein, and when it is attached to lipids are called glycolipids. Next is model showing structural organization of plasma membrane. First model is bimolecular lipid leaflet model. This model was proposed by Gorter and Grilland in the year 1925. Suggested that plasma membrane is made up of double layer of lipid bilayer and polar groups of lipids molecules are present on the outer side of the layer. Now, this is lipid bilayer, phospholipid bilayer, which is consist of two layers, and this is first layer, this one is, both layers are attached with each other, and each layer consists of hydrophilic head. This red one, these are heads actually, and from each head you can see two tails which are consist of fatty acids, and these tails are actually hydrophobic tails. This is extracellular type, and this side is intracellular side. So this is phospholipid bilayer, and this model was given by Gotter and Grendel, and according to this each layer consists of lipid bilayer. Next is Danieli-Devson model. This model was proposed by Devson and Danieli in the year 1952, and this was trilamellar sandwich model. And this model described the structure of a unit membrane. According to them, and bimolecular layer of lipid is sandwiched between two protein layers, and the hydrophilic heads of the layer face towards the positively charged protein layer, and the protein molecules are globular. Now you can see the picture, globular protein. These are globular protein which cover the lipid bilayer. This is lipid bilayer, and it is 35 angstrom thick, and globular protein covers it from both the side actually from both the side globular protein cover it, and each layer of globular protein consists of 20, it is 20 angstrom thick actually. So but the drawback of this model was that this model does not explain passage of water soluble material and active transportation. So this theory was discarded. Next one is unit membrane model. This model was proposed by Robertson in the year 1959. Sorry. According to him, all the biomembranes such as membranes of endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, mitochondria, nuclear membrane, all are consist of unit membrane. And all the biological membranes have similar trilamellar structure except their thickness. They all are consist of three layers, two external dark layer which are protein monolayer and lipid bilayer in the middle. So he called it a unit membrane because trilamellar structure which is common in all biological membrane. Now you can see the structure. This is lipid bilayer, और आप देख सकते हो ये हाइड्रोफिलिक हेड है और ये फैटी एसिड्स की बनी हुई हाइड्रोफोबिक टेल है. दोनों साइड से एक्सटेंडेड प्रोटीन लेयर, कॉन्टिन्यूअस प्रोटीन लेयर ने इसको कवर किया हुआ है. 20 एंगस्ट्रॉम थिक प्रोटीन लेयर, 35 एंगस्ट्रॉम थिक बायोलिपिड लेयर, और ये लोअर लेयर प्रोटीन की वो भी 20 एंगस्ट्रॉम थिक. So according to this theory, according to this hypothesis, each cell organelle part like the outer covering of the vacuole that is called tonoplast, the wall of endoplasmic reticulum, the wall of mitochondria, chloroplast, all are consist of unit membrane. और बस उसकी स्ट्रक्चर वही होता है लेकिन थिकनेस अलग अलग हो सकती थी. अदरवाइज ऑल द बायोलॉजिकल मेम्ब्रेन हैव सिमिलर trilamellar structure, bilipid in the center, and from both the sides it is covered by protein layer. Next one is fluid mosaic model. Technically the cell membrane is a liquid. Lipid, protein and carbohydrates in the plasma membrane can diffuse freely throughout the cell membrane. They are essentially floating across its surface. This is known as the fluid mosaic model, and which was coined by S. Jonathan Singer and Garth Nicholson in the year 1972. and they developed new ideas for membrane structure, and their proposal was the fluid mosaic model, which is dominant model now. It has two key features: a mosaic of protein embedded in the membrane, and the membrane being a fluid bilayer of lipids. And the lipid bilayer was just like previous models, but proteins as globular entities embedded in the layer instead of continuous layer of protein. So, fluid mosaic model states that membranes are made up of lipid bilayer in which globular proteins are embedded. And the lipid bilayer in plant cells are amphipathic in nature. Amphipathic का मतलब होता है it is having asymmetrical distribution of charges in their polar groups. Each lipid bimolecule consists of head, which is hydrophilic, that means water loving in nature, and two long tail of fatty acids which are hydrophobic, that means water fearing. And the hydrophilic heads are located towards the outer side of the lipid bilayer, whereas hydrophobic fatty acid tail towards the interior part of the membrane. And the hydrophilic and hydrophobic forces in lipid molecule causes the membrane to become bilayer, also called amphipathic nature. तो एम्फीपैथिक नेचर का मतलब होता है ईच लिपिड बाइलेयर दो साइड है, दो फोर्सेस होते हैं उसके अंदर. एक तो होता है हाइड्रोफिलिक फोर्स, इसका मतलब होता है वाटर लविंग, और दूसरी होती है हाइड्रोफोबिक टेल जो कि वाटर फेयरिंग होती है. इसी बाइपोलर नेचर की वजह से ये बाइलेयर हो जाती है, इसी को एम्फीपैथिक नेचर कहते हैं. And along with this, in this lipid bilayer, proteins are also found, and these proteins are three types actually: catalytic proteins, channel proteins, and carrier proteins. Otherwise, lipid bilayer has two types of proteins on the basis of the attachment to the layer, and some proteins which are embedded in the lipid are called integral or intrinsic protein. They are bound tightly with the membrane and embedded in the lipid bilayer. And second is peripheral or extrinsic proteins. They are found on the periphery side and bound loosely on the outer surface. And some glycolipids are also found. Glycolipids are carbohydrate molecules attached to the lipid layer. And some glycoproteins are also found. These glycoproteins are carbohydrate molecules which are attached to the proteins. So, as for the fluid nature of the membrane, the lipid components are capable of moving parallel to the membrane surface and are in constant motion. Many proteins are also capable of that motion within the membrane. So, in general, this model explains most of the criticism of the Davison-Danieli model. Excuse me. Now, this is the structure of fluid mosaic model. This was given by Singer and Nicholson in the year 1972. Now you can see this is a lipid bilayer which is consist of hydrophilic head. This red one, this is head in which phosphate group is found, and these two are hydrophobic tail which are consist of fatty acids. So this is lipid bilayer, and these are proteins which are called channel proteins. Some proteins which are attached to the periphery, these are called peripheral membrane protein, and some are embedded in the layer. These are embedded in the layer from inner side to the outer side completely, and these are called integral membrane protein or intrinsic protein. This is a cytoskeleton filament which consists of protein. Some cholesterol molecules are also found in it. This is protein channel, and this is phospholipid bilayer. And some carbohydrates are also found. When the carbohydrates are attached to the lipid molecule, they are called glycolipids, and when they are attached to the proteins, they are called glycoproteins. So this is the structure of फ्लूड मोज़ेक मॉडल. फ्लूड का मतलब जो लिपिड बाइलेयर होती है वो फ्लूड की तरह होती है, और मोज़ेक की तरह उसमें जो प्रोटीन जो होता है उसमें मोज़ेक की तरह फ्लोट करता रहता है. नेक्स्ट, functions of plasma membrane. The main functions of plasma membrane: first, cell membrane maintain the form and individuality of the cell, and it constitutes a number of subcellular structure and cell organelles like tonoplast, which is the outermost covering of the vacuole, endoplasmic reticulum, dictyosomes, chloroplast, nuclei, mitochondria, etc. These membranes have the cellular organelles to have their own compartmentization, and plasma membrane regulate the flow of various substances into and out of the cell. Next is number 4, it maintains the shape. The plasma membrane actually surround all cells and physically separate the cytoplasm, which is the material that makes up the cell, from the extracellular fluid outside the cell. This protects all the components of the cell from the outside environment and allows separate activities to occur inside and outside the cell. The plasma membrane provides structural support to the cell. Certain organisms such as plants and fungi have a cell wall in addition to the plasma membrane, and the cell wall is composed of cellulose. It provides additional support to the cell, and that is why plant cells do not burst like animal cells do if too much water diffuse into them. Next point is plasma membrane is selectively permeable or semi-permeable, meaning that only certain molecules can pass through them, like water, oxygen, carbon dioxide. They can easily travel through the membrane. Generally, iron, sodium, potassium and polar molecules, which are larger in size, cannot pass through the membrane. They must go through specific channels or pores in the membrane instead of freely diffusing through. This way, the membrane can control the rate at which certain molecules can enter and exit the cell. Next function, endocytosis and exocytosis. Endocytosis is when a cell ingests relatively larger contents than the single ions or molecules that pass through channels. Through endocytosis, a cell can take a large quantity of molecule or even whole bacteria from the extracellular fluid. Exocytosis is when the cell releases this material. The cell membrane plays an important role in both of these processes. The shape of the membrane itself changes to allow molecules to enter or exit the cell. It also forms vacuoles, small bubbles or membrane that can transport many molecules at ones. Excuse me. Now you can see the picture. Endocytosis. Actually, endocytosis is differentiated into two parts, phagocytosis and pinocytosis. But when solid particles enter inside the plasma membrane, this is called phagocytosis, and the vesicles are produced which cover the solid particles are called phagosomes. Actually, food vacuoles are phagosomes. And pinocytosis is the process in which extracellular fluid, I am talking about fluid, and which enter inside the cell by the formation of vesicles. And sometimes some receptor mediated endocytosis also takes place, in which the vesicles are coated vesicles which are covered by the coated proteins. Next function of the plasma membrane is transportation. When a movement of ions and molecules into and outside of the cell through plasma membrane is called transport or fluxes. When entry of the fluid takes place, it is called influx, and when its exit is called efflux. It takes place by two methods, active method and passive method. In active method, in active process, it takes place by the utilization of energy, whereas passive method, there is no utilization of energy. During passive diffusion, some protein act as channel and carrier protein. In carrier proteins, they bind to the ions or molecules. These are some carrier proteins. They bind to the ions and produce protein, and then they produce protein ion complex, and after some configurational changes, this ion or molecule they release towards the inner side of the plasma membrane. So some protein act as carrier protein. Excuse me. Next is cell signaling. Another important function of the membrane is to facilitate communication and signaling between cells. It does so through the use of various proteins and carbohydrates. In the membrane, proteins on the cell mark that cell so that other cells can identify it, and the membrane also has receptors that allow it to carry out certain tasks when molecules such as hormones bind to those receptors. So these are the functions of plasma membrane. And now I'm closing my lecture. Thank you so much for watching me. Stay tuned for my next lecture. Till then, goodbye.